Hello everyone, my name is Habish Nadia, a graduate student in pedagogy and teaching for sustainability, and this is my work on intergenerational interview. My interviewee is my father, whom I love a lot. My father was born in 1948. He is about 73 years old, and he is an ideal person to speak about intergenerational regarding his career and his experiences. He experienced war, independence, and in the present times my father is our reference about the history of the country. He enjoyed both European and African studies. He studied in Germany and in Algeria. He was also a sportsman. He was a footballer in the Algerian national team, and he had a strong experience in bank management. So I think my father is the best person who can speak about intergenerational. I asked my father about generation. He said, "Generation is all the people whom I know and whom I live with. It includes you, your kids, me, and your brother and sisters. It also includes my friends and colleagues." He said, "We all don't have the same age, but we live at the same time." I also asked him about differences between our generation and his generation, and he replied that there are huge differences between the two generations. He said that his generation really lived in more difficult conditions because of the war. He said they were obliged to work while studying and that they didn't enjoy comfortable and easy life. They didn't enjoy technology like we are doing nowadays. But he said that they were happy and were very independent at early age. Most of them got married by age of 20, unlike youth of nowadays who generally do not get married until the age of 35 or 40. Socially speaking, my father said that they were highly committed to social meetings and traditional events, but he regretted that his generation was not open to the external world. When I asked my father about generational gap, he insisted on 2 points. He said, "Youth nowadays are friends to their parents. They interact together, they have fun together, whereas in our times it was very difficult to have a joke with the father or the grandfather." He said our relationship with the elders was mainly based on seriousness and strictness. Also, he spoke about the differences between women in his time and women nowadays. He said in his times, women were devoted only for kitchen and craft work. It was very rare to find a woman working in an office or studying, but nowadays women are studying and working and even traveling alone. As we were discussing intergenerational, I asked him about intergenerational learning, and he said, "I am still learning from my elders, and my children learn from me." He said, "I learn from my elders' social norms, traditions, religious issues, and our history and roots. At the same time, I try to teach my children and their kids our customs, traditions, our identity, and our past. And I learn from the youngers. I learn how to use technology and how to adapt with this fast-paced life." Then my father gave me some examples about intergenerational learning. He said that those night stories that he used to read to his grandchildren are kind of intergenerational learning, as he tries each time to to teach something about history or traditions. Also, he said that those kind of sessions he each time have with one of my brothers, mainly to learn how to use a PC or a smartphone, also is a kind of intergenerational learning. Then he spoke about chess game. Chess game is very familiar in our family and my father likes it a lot, and he said each time along this game try to exchange some discussion about politics, about the war and the independence, about history. And along these discussions there is also always something to learn and to teach. Crosswords, for example, are often my father's way to teach his grandchildren some new vocabulary and a new knowledge. As we continued talking about intergenerational, I asked my father, can generations work together? And he was very positive and he said, yes. I asked him how. He said, by getting both of them, elders and youngers, involved in social events, by devoting more time to their family members and by respecting their dates. Also, participation in social and community movements and organizations would help generations to integrate together. Sports is very important to my father as he was a sportsman, and he said that sports teams between neighbors are very useful to approximate generations. He highlighted a lot the respect of mosque and church week meetings and gatherings. He said youngers and elders should go each week, should attend these meetings because it is a way to get them close and in connection. To conclude, I can say that I believe that intergenerational learning and its practices is our way to more social capital and social cohesion. The more we interact, exchange, learn from each other, the more sustainable is our society.